So this'll take us to Wallace? I ask. Reed doesn't answer. I don't mind the silence. What I mind is the smell, which is stronger than ever. My stomach lurches with each whiff of it. Burnt hair. You okay? Palmiotti asks with a glance. I nod, trying to keep pace, but I know something's wrong. From the industrial design of the staircase, the cinder block walls, and the buzzy fluorescent lighting, the whole place feels like a 1960s bomb shelter. But there's no missing the recent additions. Motion detectors in the corner, a chemical sniffer that I spotted when we first walked in, and a thin plastic sheath, like flypaper, that coats the metal banister. I don't even want to think what it's for. What really matters is, if the world goes boom, this is where they'll rebuild it from. As we reach the first landing, an open door reveals a narrow hallway, like an old hospital, lined with doors on both sides. Agent Reed keeps going down toward the lower level. My ears again tighten and pop. By my count, we're at least 2 or 3 stories underground, and all I can think about is that when Richard Nixon's secretary, Rosemary Woods, transcribed the Nixon tapes and famously lost 18.5 minutes, it was at Camp David, where no one would see the crime. With a final thump, Reed slams down on the final metal step, his feet slapping against the concrete. We're at rock bottom, or at least the bottom of the stairwell. Reed's pace never diminishes. As I follow him through the threshold and into a hallway that's lined with closed doors, the ceiling gets lower, but the fluorescent lighting stays bright. Here, we're in here, Reed says, leading us into the first room on our left. Like the stairwell, the walls are cinder block and bare. There's not much inside. An army barrack metal bed, a matching government-issued dresser, and in the corner, a new Secret Service agent. A pale, Irish-looking man with a pointy nose who sits at a wooden desk and is watching something on TV. This isn't like the surveillance room, though. As far as I can tell, these are sleeping quarters. We're all clear, sir, the Irish agent calls out, standing up as we enter. He's on his way. I hesitate, staying back by the door, still unsure what's really going on. But I know what he means. He is always the president. Relax. Take a breath, Beecher, Reed says, his voice now warm and friendly. You did good. He gives me a small smile, and I can't help but smile back, feeling strangely comfortable as I step into the room. So Wallace is safe? I ask. You got him covered? You have nothing to worry about, Reed says. The president has never been safer. Behind him, on the TV, I catch a glimpse of a waving American flag. But as the camera pulls out, I see that it's one of the tiny flags on the front of the president's private limo, the black Cadillac known as the Beast. The way the handheld camera's shaking. This is the service's live surveillance footage. As the door to the car opens, President Wallace steps out, followed by his young daughter. They don't wave or look around. They head straight for their destination. But from the background, from the black pavement where they're parked, President and his daughter on her school trip, one of the agents announces. School trip? But wasn't that? I squint at the TV, confused. I thought they canceled the school trip. Wallace took a helicopter here. So how'd... I don't understand. Wallace brought the school trip here? Reed looks over at Palmiotti, then back to me. I'm sorry, Beecher. From behind, the Irish agent grabs my arm, nearly pulling my shoulder from its socket. There's a loud as something bites my wrist. A handcuff, then another and a metal clang. I look down as I'm handcuffed to the metal foot of the bed. What are you? Get these off!